and a warm welcome, everyone. I'm glad to have you here for our webinar together with SKODA. So I'm really excited about this on how to beat time innovation process acceleration. A great topic, and I would really say a really timely topic. And happy to have you here. I'm Fabian. I'm lead innovation consultant at ITONICS, working with a lot of really exciting companies across the globe, among others SKODA. With me today is Roman. So Roman, if you can turn your camera on, say some words about you, quick introduction, and then let's jump in.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Roman Šiser from Škoda Auto. I'm an innovation manager. Actually, I prepared a slide for it, so maybe I can just start sharing my screen and present something about me. Okay, perfect. So I'm at Škoda Auto since 2017, responsible for innovation management, and now lately since 2 years also for new ideas for our cars, mostly simply clever ideas. My background is actually in marketing. I started at Coca-Cola a long time ago, and then at Coca-Cola I was doing a similar role. And yeah, I like everything new, and I like to do some sports and everything that is connected with some new technology. So that's my innovation is my professional hobby.
That's perfect.
And today I would like to talk to you about how we do innovation at Škoda and how we try to accelerate the innovation process.
That's great, and we're really looking forward to hear that. So I take the screen over for just 1 minute, not long, and then we will be back with Roman. So some quick information about the chat and how this works. So I figure out you will have, after Roman's presentation, a lot of questions to him. So for that feature, we will collect the questions and I will ask them afterwards. So we'll pick some out, but we will also answer every question then in written form afterwards. For that, you can use the F&A function in the Zoom call here. If you want to chat with other people, if you want to share some ideas, we also enable the chat function. So this is kind of for you as participants to exchange thoughts and feedback and information with each other. But when you have a question for Roman, so put it in the F&A section, and then we will hopefully ask it in the end of or have the time to ask it in the end of the webinar here. So just quick topic introduction here from my end. So why did we choose to, why did we also ask Roman to be here? So one thing that we at ITONICS, working with a lot of very innovative companies across the globe, see is like currently, and there's no more timely topic, maybe AI, but it also feeds into that, lens speed. And I would say it's one of the largest levers that we see when we look into which companies succeed and which don't of them who work with us. And I've put out some numbers here from McKinsey, from a recent study about what's the business effect of companies that are innovating faster compared to companies that innovate slower. And what we see is there are tremendous advantages of being speedy. Stuff like growth, okay, for sure. If you bring new products to the market, you have an advantage. If you do it regularly, you will expand your share of market. Definitely also financial performance, because usually you can charge some price premiums when you file first to market, but also stuff like operational resiliency. Like if you are agile, if you are quick to innovate, you are also quick to oftentimes adjust internally when something happens. One recent example is the COVID pandemic. So also those internal processes, if you have a mode of innovating quite quickly, they can be enhanced quite well. So on what we are interested today is to learn how SKODA does it and how SKODA is accelerating the innovation processes, and also with the help of ITONICS. And that's where I hand over to you, Roman, and really looking forward to hear what you have to say and to really learn a lot from you.
Okay, so let me share my screen and start with the question. If you guess how long does the innovation process at automotive take? How long does it take from the project start until the car is on the market? If anybody knows, it's usually 4.5 years. It's very long. So therefore, it's very important that we try to speed up the time and get ahead of it. But before I dive into it, I will show you quickly how we approach the innovation management as such, because we as a central innovation management team take care of the fact that the Škoda Auto as such will get more innovative and therefore grow our innovation maturity, which is built on 4 pillars. First is, of course, knowing why we need to innovate and what we need to innovate. So that's a kind of innovation strategy where we define the opportunity fields for innovation, scan and scout new trends and technologies, and try to then define the focus areas for innovation. We also take care of the whole portfolio, where we do have some funding, especially for POC, and then we try to direct the ideas to certain projects. We also evaluate ideas. I will show you later on how. And we also put some governance decision-making process to select the best ideas and put them into projects. Next, of course, is the process itself. That's also what we are trying, and I will show you how we're trying to speed it up and map who needs to be involved when, because we are a huge company with many departments and even connected to bigger body like Volkswagen Group. So coordination and communication is more than ever important. And related to process steps for each phase, we have a lot of tools that we could use to either generate ideas, evaluate ideas, mature ideas, test them, or and develop them. Yeah, like hackathons, toolbox, design thinking, and our idea space, the platform for crowdsourcing and collaboration, which I will show you later on. Last but not least, we also take care of innovation culture, which means leadership. We also have mindset measurement, then incentives, of course, trainings, and also, as I mentioned, since we are such a big company, networking. Just some highlights of our programs. Yeah, so I already mentioned Innovation Mindset Index, which we measure every year, and we measure main innovative behaviors and values, and see how we are progressing and where we have weaknesses and we need to focus on. Then we do about 20 to 30 POCs per year, with about 40% of being implemented. Then we do a lot of ideation challenges with different methods. One of them is Idea Space, our innovation management platform, where over the past 5 years, we collected more than 1,000 or 1,300 ideas. And then we also do a lot of networking events, like the Inno Day, like the group events, or specific thematic workshops, like focusing, for example, on AI. We also use the innovation toolbox, where we trained our employees. And what is also very important to drive culture, we do a lot of communication with some innovation stories or newsletter to inspire people and motivate for innovation. So that's what we do. But the question was, how do we get ahead of these 4.5 years? It's really, really long. Here are the key milestones along that innovation process. So the question is, when do we actually need to provide the ideas? And these milestones are described from the Volkswagen Group process, which is called Product Entstehung process. That's the abbreviation PEP, product development process. And for early phase, these are the related or relevant milestone: project start, product mission, project premises, product definition, and then product or project visibility. So I guess, the key question is, when do we really need to provide the ideas? The latest when the ideas are approved is the PF. But that's when you need to have the business case. You need to be sure that the idea is feasible also from technical perspective. And you need to also have the customer experience proposition. Now, we did in the past, usually the first draft of the ideas in PM milestone, product mission, and then we try to evaluate them until product development. But in order to speed up, we decided to go already in PS milestone, when we start to know what type of car, for which customer group we want, and for which topics, that we there already start to bring in the early stage ideas. Yeah, I talk about ideas. And then we have some time to do a proof of concept, validate them, calculate the business case, and until, let's say, PD milestones, have them more or less approved, because it was too late. So the first thing is to really start earlier. But how do we provide ideas already at PS milestones? How can we get ideas before the project starts? And this is exactly where the strategic phase comes in. And actually, this is changing also in the whole Volkswagen group, that there is a phase or gates that are called customer experience gates, which are connected to, first of all, of course, brand strategy, and then to customer insights, customer problems, and what we call opportunity fields and customer experiences that we want to create. These we try to define upfront, so we know, okay, we need to make our cars more efficient. We always need to bring new Simply Clever features. Now health and well-being is a big trend, so let's see what we can do there. So there is a lot of work happening in early phase, continuously, where we regularly screen for ideas, evaluate them, pitch them, and try to do a proof of concept. So when the PS milestone comes, we already have the initial concepts that we can propose for validation into the project. You know, so that's a trick to really continuously screen ideas, but you need to have the alignment of the topics that you long-term need to address. Yeah, and therefore we are then ready for PS milestone. What is also important is this kind of alignment in such a big corporation. And here you see a lot of abbreviation. These are the departments that are involved in idea development. Like VX is customer experience, product marketing, after sales. We have the technical development, which starts with E, EB, EK, EE electronic, hardware, software. And then we have also the product lines, G1, G2, G3. So a lot of people, including then IT and controlling, that needs to be involved. Therefore, we have formed this Innovation Council, which meets regularly. And we pitch new ideas to the Innovation Council, pre-evaluated ideas. Then we prioritize the best ones, and then we align on financing and which target projects or development stream they will go through. So this also helps to align everyone on the big ideas, on the key ideas that we want to push through. As I mentioned earlier, we have these opportunity fields. Here are the ones that we defined last year. Two on the left sides are the ones that we look more for getting the kind of experience, so exploratory ones, like circular economy and customer experience improvement. And then there are three where we already need concrete ideas, yeah, because we already understand the customer and technology, and we want concrete ideas, which is Simply Clever, of course, more in digital way, car energy management, and sustainability. Yeah, and these regularly come up to either prioritization or to proof of concepts, or if they are mature enough, we push them to projects. Eventually, we need to synchronize them with the group initiatives, yes, so to get Volkswagen, Cupra, and other brands behind, and make the portfolio management in idea funnel. So that's the first recommendation that I have: continuous iterative ideation on defined opportunity fields. Here I have the video, but I keep it for later. One of the sources of ideas is our Škoda Auto Idea Space, which is the platform from that we take from ITONICS since I think 5.5 years. And there we have a lot of elements, like you see here: challenges, inspirations, news, projects. All the POCs that we have are there, as well as our innovation community. So it's kind of a central place where people could get some inspiration or join the ideation challenges. Second topic is, of course, speed up that process. And there is a big initiative in the group to speed up the 4.5-year development process in order to be on time with competition, because I see that competition is much faster, and also technology is evolving so fast. We are working on some projects like the digital key or now AI, and until we have the solution, the new technology replaces the previous one, so your solution starts to be obsolete. Like I remember when we started to work on the digital key 5 years ago, it was with NFC, but now came the Bluetooth and ultra wideband, and now eventually it's all moving to biometrical identification. Yeah, so you also need to factor in new technologies and look very much forward to enable them in your car 4 years down the road. But we need to speed up because we have a lot of ideas, but not all ideas are the right ones. And we also need to know which one to prioritize. And that's part of the speeding up, involving the right stakeholder, especially the management, into decision making on ideas early on. So I already mentioned that we provide ideas at the PS milestone, project start, and until project feasibility. You know how long it takes? It's still bloody 17 months. Yeah, so a really long time. Yeah, more or less 1.5 years, and therefore this is still a long process. So that's something that we could speed up when we have well-developed ideas already from the previous phase. Yeah, so it's not just a rough idea, but we already have the definition of technology, of the customer experience, and some premises about the business potential. Yeah, so that's the work that we do, and as I mentioned, the Innovation Council and this cross-functional team to prioritize the best ideas. First of all, to evaluate the best ideas quickly with a balanced scorecard, prioritize best ideas, and do a quick proof of concepts on them. Evaluation, we use a standard, methodologies of Alex Osterwalder, this viability, feasibility, as well as attractivity. Yeah, so attractivity is the customer value where we put the most weight. You see 45% is influenced by the customer demand or competitive advantage related to the value provided from it. 30% of the value of the scoring idea is the business value, and 25% is on the time to market and resources needed. Eventually, we rename the risk of failure to chances of success, yeah, to be more on positive sides. Because people tend to be very risk averse, and on chances of success, it's actually better to evaluate. Yeah, so that's how we shorten the time between project start and project feasibility with the right tools, quick evaluation of ideas, prioritization, and focus on doing proof of concepts on the selected ones. Now, there are also a couple prerequisites that are needed along the journey. I already mentioned some of them, like focus. Yeah, so clear definition of who we are targeting, which user, for which project, which car projects, and eventually also the opportunity fields, which are long-term driven by the trends, technologies, and our strategies. Second, of course, as I mentioned, the Innovation Council, this cross-functional team, which drives the commitment behind the best ideas, and board management, especially board and middle management support. So they know what's going on, because then often they are surprised we don't have enough ideas, or they expected bigger ideas. So it's good to involve them in a meaningful way early on. But still, the world, as I mentioned, is changing so fast that we need also to have a fast track. Yeah, so instead of difficult, but therefore which we support with the POC or with in order to speed up the development of the focused ideas. And last but not least, I mentioned it also in my introduction, mindset. Yeah, very much we see resistance, risk aversion, consideration, and every time we present the idea, we need to say, okay, we hear your comments, we ask for feedback, and we will need to address it in the POC concept. But it's not a showstopper for the idea. Yeah, people can voice the concerns, but rather than just saying why the idea would fail, what's risky about it, we try to change the mindset that they see how this would be possible, where it would make sense, how we can overcome this issue. Yeah, so in Czech, we have a great saying, who doesn't want to finds reasons, and that who wants to, he finds ways. And that's what we try to promote, this kind of can-do attitude. Yeah, that people don't kill the ideas right away, and don't ask difficult questions, you know, if it will pay back right in the beginning when you have the idea, but ask the right question at the right phase of the idea maturity. So that leads me to the summary. First recommendation, continuous iterative projects on open innovation challenges. We usually publish them on IdeaSpace, as you have seen, to collect the ideas, evaluate them, and select and prioritize the best ones. That's moving us to the second point, to shorten the time between the project start and project feasibility, where we already have evaluated and prioritized ideas. We have the proof of concepts, we understand the topic, we know what's possible, we know how much it would cost, and therefore it's much easier to implement it into the project and then develop it. And for that, we need a cross-functional team and council. Here, I have to say, I have seen lately a very good tool from, again, ITONICS, I have to say, but also from Harvard Business Review, powered by AI, the Ideation modules, which use these methodologies of design thinking with the right questions, with the right methodologies that more or less you can automate the workshops that we used to do for 2 or 3 days and prepare for another 3 or 4 weeks. You can do it now more or less in 30 minutes, where in 30 minutes you are able to formulate the challenge, collect the ideas, evaluate ideas by AI. I really was fascinating how quickly you can get to some good ideas with the new AI-powered ideation tools. And last, as I said, fostering can-do attitude with a lot of communication, which we send also from IdeaSpace, you know, like this newsletter with inspirations, innovation stories, invitations to events, and also some other networking initiatives where people can learn from each other or get connected. So that's in a nutshell what I wanted to share with you. I had to speak very fast to be in time.
And you have fully accomplished that. So great. I've seen you have a promotional video also kind of from our platform, so maybe we have time to share that and then jump into the questions.
So,
okay. So, do you want to share the video too, or?
Yeah, I can share the video if there are no questions.
Let's start with that,
Video,
and then let's go into the questions afterwards. There are a lot of questions coming in, and let's give some time.
I'll share the video. It's a 2-minute video, how we use this platform, and then we jump to the question. Okay.
Perfect.
Vítejte u tohoto videa, které vás provede novou verzi aplikace IdeaSpace. Rádi bychom vám ukázali hlavní změny a nové možnosti. Aplikace IdeaSpace vám již 5 let pomáhá s vašimi inovačními výzvami, přináší vám inspirace a zároveň ukazuje naše inovační projekty. Jenom pro představu, nejúspěšnější výzva, která se jmenovala Nové simplifikator vychytávky, vygenerovala od vás až 118 nových nápadů. Nyní jsme přivedli do života novou verzi aplikace IdeaSpace. Nová verze přináší nejen technologický pokrok, ale také revitalizovaný design a nové uspořádání obsahu. Uživatelské rozhraní bylo sladěno s novou identitou značky a celkové uspořádání obsahu prošlo výraznou proměnou. Nová IdeaSpace je postavena na globální platformě, která se jmenuje Innovation Suite. Využívají taky ostatní koncernové značky a znamená to rychlou a levnější implementaci nových funkcí a vylepšení. Nová verze aplikace je plně integrovaná do našeho IT systému a umožňuje přihlášení přes škodovácký SSO Single Sign-On systém, což znamená bez nutnosti registrace. Na IdeaSpace vám pravidelně přinášíme inspirace a novinky. Za dobu existence již 460 článků ze světa technologií, konkurence a inovací ve Škoda Auto. V nové verzi naleznete také vylepšený newsletter a co je ještě zajímavější, funkci komunit, kde můžete spolupracovat a sdílet novinky a nápady se svými kolegy v rámci vaší komunity. A to je teprve začátek. Platformu plánujeme rozšířit do celokoncernového prostředí, kde si budeme moci sdílet zkušenosti a projekty napříč značkami. Inspirujte se, přinášejte nové nápady, diskutujte o nich, pomozte je vylepšit a pomozte nám je dostat do praxe. Budoucnost je ve vašich rukou, respektive hlavách. Nová IdeaSpace je tu pro vás.
So you had some Czech lesson.
Yeah, so I wish I would knew Czech. So, but really interesting, and also with the subtitles, I think you can follow quite well. Okay,
yeah.
great. So, Roman, first of all, thank you. And yeah, from when I look into the question section and the comments, then your presentation has sparked a lot of interest. And let's take some of those questions out and ask them. For instance, um, for instance, from Yannick. So, how do you handle the acknowledgement to document POCs and ideas that have been submitted in the past, especially connected to data classification if you are dealing with business strategy? So,
Yeah,
POC, what's your answer to
very
that?
sensitive topic, but we have put a guideline that everything that is on idea space is classified as internal. Yeah, so the confidential ideas are not allowed on idea space. It's only ideas, yeah. There are no financial numbers, no long-term secret projects. So yeah, we try to keep the internal classification.
Okay, perfect.
For the classified project, we have two-step authentication, and a lot of restrictions and different databases where they need to be handled.
Okay, cool, great. Then related to that, how does SKODA decide on the opportunity fields, and who decides that?
Yeah, actually, this is fairly new. We only did it last year. It was our team who facilitated the discussion. And it was quite a long process. It took us a couple months, first of all, to evaluate more than 300 trends and technologies. And we took a filter. I don't have it in my presentation, but I will describe it. We look at, first of all, what is relevant for us, which is possible to realize in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's the first filter. We don't look at super long-term exploratory topics. This is the role of the group innovation, yeah, of R&D in the Volkswagen. Secondly, we looked at the relevance for our customers and our business, yeah, and we asked the managers to help us score the relevancy of those topics. And thirdly, we also looked if somebody is already working on it or if not. Yeah, so where is really the gap for innovations? And that was the methodology, and that's what we prioritized in 10 fields and defined what we are expected in them, like I presented on that chart.
Yeah, it's actually something that we also recommend, kind of that at least the innovation team has a large say into the opportunity spaces or into the definition of that. So really cool that you do that. And that brings me actually to the next question, also from Paolo here, because he asks how large is your team altogether? So how many people are working with you here?
Very difficult to say. I'm alone actually for innovation management for cars and services, but I'm kind of in the middle of a huge team, yeah, which is part of this innovation council. So I coordinate, facilitate this multifunctional, cross-functional team. Hard to say how many people would be there. Yeah, innovation management, central innovation management as such, used to be 7 people since we were all focused on one area. I was focusing on sales and market innovation first 5 years at Škoda. Now we are organized differently. We have 2 people in the central team focusing on company internal innovation, so new technologies, production 4.0, paperless office, etc. And then it's me focusing on all the other customer related innovation, but with many, many different teams that I showed you on that slide with the Innovation Council. And this would be, I think, regularly we meet about 20 people, but then it's hundreds of people that are connected to innovation. Yeah. But I think this cross-functional core team would be between 10, 15 people from key departments.
Okay, cool. So yeah, SKODA is empowering everybody to innovate, one could say here. So
exactly. I try to explain the difference between innovator and innovation manager. Yeah. I myself am not innovator. I'm innovation manager, and my role is to make sure that people are inspired, they know how to get ideas, and they know how to make the ideas happen into innovation. Yeah. So I'm here for innovators. I'm their kind of a supporter.
Okay, that relates also quite well to the next question, because Micah asked if everyone in the company is able to use and access the idea space, and is there also an ongoing collaboration then on the ideas?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody is possible to use it. We actually this year we did a new thing because also we have I think like 20,000 workers in production, and these do not have usually Škoda email, yeah, which you need to log into IdeaSpace. And through the external gateway, we have enabled to them to enter the idea with their private email. Yeah, so they can just on this it's kind of open idea box, log in, not log in, but submit the idea with their email. So that's that was just one example.
So that's also kind of related to another question that came here, like from Jonas. So what incentives do we have for employees reaching out with ideas?
This is a tough one, yeah, because luckily we have employees, and Škoda in its DNA we say is inventive, yeah. Since ever we were always kind of unsatisfied and try to change things. So we are lucky that we don't need to really put so much motivation, despite the fact it would help a lot. We had also a proposal of some kind of CEO Innovation Award, but usually what is most important is the kind of support, the motivation from the perspective of, yeah, the idea is good, it's wanted, and you have somebody who is your peer and can help you to guide through the group and Škoda Gremia, provide you some money, help you to evaluate the idea and put it into the right project. But we do have motivation for people in Zebra when they can submit improvements. They can also get some financial benefit. But this is only small for the improvement, the incremental ideas. However, with our innovation community, once a year we do an innovation day, and we select one or two innovators that we then give them a chance to go to Web Summit or any innovative or car trade fair or conference.
Hey, great. So, but also kind of it's not only internal innovators. So what Jeff wants to know is how do you integrate customers into the ideation process, and what do you do to achieve that?
I had the idea, I had the video in my presentation. So when we hand it out, you will see the video there. Couple things. Right now, we are working on a new car, new ENIAC, and before even we propose this innovation in the PS milestones, we already start to talk to customers in different markets. We identify the topics where, as I mentioned, the opportunity fields we need to explore. You know what they need, what are the problems, what are their expectations, what are the jobs to be done. So that's an exploratory phase. Secondly, we do these design thinking workshops. We just had one in January on the trunk experience, where for 4 days we were ideating, and one of those days were fully with customers, you know, looking at their car trunks, talking to them why they have what they have in the trunk, how they use the trunk. And then once we have the concepts, we also test them. Yeah, we do a lot of customer clinics, UX clinic, customer experience clinics. So all in all, very, very much involvement of the customers. And also we listen to customers. We have a feedback function in our app, and we have a community on Facebook where people can voice their concerns, their questions, their ideas.
Okay, that's really interesting. And there are also questions related here from the chat on kind of some specifics of the automotive industry. So do you start that whole process, let's say, of innovation projects, but also like involving customers only when you have a target where you have the project in mind already or scheduled, or is that somewhat independent from that? So how does it work?
Most of the time we have the projects, yeah. So we see our cycle plan and the cars that are coming for which markets, which type of cars. So we know when they will need the ideas. So that helps a lot to have this kind of long-term cycle plan. Also, we have the challenges from internal departments. They are like now paperless. How we can get rid of all the papers. Yeah, so that's the best. But as I mentioned, we continuously ideate on these topics. As well as at the same time, our department is screening, sensing, is in touch with Innovation Center China, with Volkswagen Connect in Israel. We look at CES. Yeah, so, and we try, but this is more like 10%, 15% of our work. We try to bring in some inspiration independent of the project. Yeah, so I would say 80% is project focused ideation, and 20% is more kind of ad hoc.
Okay, cool. And then maybe we have to wrap up. We are already over time, but again, great for having you here. So maybe the last question to you. So was asked right now, but I had also written it down. So with all the technological advancements going on right now, like also tools like Gen AI and also the buzzwords like AI-driven innovation, what do you see kind of when you look ahead towards topic like accelerating innovation processes? Where do you see large potentials? Where do you see challenges? Can you give us a small outlook about that?
I mentioned it in my speech, at the end, this AI-powered ideation. I'm blown away by it. Yeah, it's amazing what it can do. Yeah, generate insights, generate ideas, evaluate ideas. Yeah, formulate challenge. It's really saving a lot of time. Secondly, we are working on one POC that is also able to really answer your questions if you, as exactly as you would talk to customer. Maybe even better, yeah. I have a suspicion that people are not always honest when we ask them, especially if you ask them sensitive questions, yeah, which are related to income or affordability, etc. They tend to go a little bit around. I think, would give more straight answers, yeah. So I'm eager to try it. So we are trying also to simulate the interviews and the testing with customers through AI. I'm curious how it works. We will compare, the results of real customer responses and the AI. Now, question is which will be more reliable and how do we judge it? So this will be an interesting dilemma, but that's where I see a lot of potential. And also here I see a question if we are working with suppliers, also great source of ideas. Yeah, these technological partners. There is a group database of innovative technological companies, and we regularly do so-called supplier days or tech days. If it's a tech day, then we look at, for example, like displays, and then 5-10 suppliers come with the new displays. If it's a supplier day, for example, we did a sustainability, and we look, okay, how can we make more sustainable interiors? And we invited, I think, like 10 or 12 suppliers who presented their ideas over the course of the day. So we do also solicit the ideas with suppliers, or when we do a POC for the new seat, we try to identify one or two suppliers with whom we can do the prototype. So a lot of work with suppliers. Eventually, that would be my dream. That didn't manage also because of the confidentiality aspect to open the idea space to external partners, especially like suppliers. But we are not there yet.
I mean, we have actually several use cases also from the automotive industry or actually completely do that, like supplier-driven innovation and having it as a gateway to them. But what you also mentioned kind of with your statements about Gen AI, you kind of did a great handover to what I will say to wrap up this webinar, because also what we oftentimes see, also the problem that, or the interesting thing that you talked about, is that we also see in the use of our tool and from people who are experimenting it or using it already live, it's like the most interesting things come out when AI and humans diverge on some issue, or when they provide different ratings. So those are oftentimes the most insightful topics to discuss about. But in general, this is only one thing that kind of we offer. I will give you also really quick intro into that. So because what we have done as ITONICS, and Roman has talked a lot about what they do at SKODA, so a lot of organizational stuff, but also kind of how technology can help. And at ITONICS currently, we also see that technology, not only AI, but also like digital platforms and all of that stuff, but also combining that with AI has a tremendous potential to speed up stuff in the innovation process and also speed up different work steps here. And if you are interested in that, so one thing that Roman talked about is like our smart ideation features and all of that we have in there, like features that idea submitters to an idea challenge can also generate an auto description from AI, and by that speed up a process and use a specific template for that, so that they can that also like engineers who don't like to write, what's oftentimes is the case, can also create kind of some really elaborate idea submissions here and have a better chance of winning here. But also like stuff like auto-generating of ideas for campaigns, auto-rating of ideas from campaigns, which we advise always to use combined with human expertise, but which kind of provides you directly a really great insight into the information processing capabilities of AI and kind of enhance the human expertise with that and speed up things tremendously. So if you are interested in that, we have another webinar hosted by myself and by my colleague Chris Girl, who's kind of the person who knows the ITONICS product best in the world, so to say. And we will dive there really then also into some specific applications, especially using AI on how to speed up innovation processes. And we'll also do some product demos in that. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join next week. Feel free to have a look. We gladly invite you to that. If you are interested in anything that or want to get in contact with us at ITONICS for those topics, also feel free to use the QR code here or contact me in any way or form. Also happy to have you and happy also to discuss about stuff like challenges that you have or potentials that you see in the whole area of innovation management, technology management, strategic foresight. So happy to help you here and looking forward to meet you here. And then it leaves me only to say thanks so much to you, Roman. So really insightful presentation, really great answers to those questions. And also thanks everyone here in the room for the participation. So this was a really lively session with over 15 questions collected here from the audience. That's really cool. Was really great to have that session together with you. And so take care and hope to speak to you soon.
It was a pleasure. Have a nice rest of the day, everyone, and keep innovating.
Yes, keep innovating.
Bye-bye. Keep the make world better. Bye.